catch it cause I'm so soon. I can't make no mistakes, cause there is just no room. Guess I was made like don't do. Catch it cause I'm so soon. I can't make no mistakes, cause there is just no room. Guess I was made like crutches, strong enough to hold you, strong enough to carry, but I can't think for you. I can give no input, only what I put in. Tired when I can't be, tired of my foot in, but I care for you. I want better but for I care for you. I can only hope better for you. You want better also. I can only hope that. Cause we in inside. You want better also. Cause we in inside. Hello, everyone. As you are coming in, please don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to comment with me, chat with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I am going to be pushing out content. I'm going to be more diligent on my content. And I got some stuff coming up in the works that you are not going to want to miss. So don't forget to hit that notification bell, put it on all, so you'll be notified each and every time that I go live so that you don't miss one of these great topics that's coming up. Hello, Naughty Love Movement. How are you today, sis? Listen here. Okay, so this much needed conversation is going to be about accountability. And the reason why I wanted to go ahead and get this on out is because I feel like with the stuff that's going on reality TV, in real life, and on social media, it's all telling us that some people need to be held accountable. And we all need to take accountability of our actions. We need to speak with integrity and intent. So I thought this was a great way to do this live. Let me tell you something. Sometimes things happen in your life for a reason. Okay. We don't always know what that reason is. We don't always know what the calling of that reason is, but it happens for a reason. It could be just your test. It could be this is your storm that's coming through to clear the way for your sunshine to break through. Okay. So whatever it is, we all got to hold ourselves accountable. All our actions have a reaction or a consequence, so to speak. So holding yourself accountable not only take care of you, but it also let people around you know that since you take accountability in yourself, that you expect them to take accountability in themselves. Okay? So that's where I'm going with this today. Listen here, I'm gonna give it to you straight. I'm gonna drop the link and you can come up and we can talk about it. We can have a nice conversation because over here, I want all our opinions to be heard. Okay. I call my people the opinionated crowd. Okay. So I want you to be an opinionated person. You know what I'm saying? Speak your views because let me tell you something. We can all sing together. We can all preach together. We can all talk together. We can all hold each other accountable. And I like for people that's around me to hold me accountable. Hold me down. You know what I'm saying? If you see me say something wrong, call me out on it. Let me tell you something. I've never been against somebody doing constructive criticism toward me. And I hold myself accountable at every turn. So before I start this live, hold on one second because I do want to drop this link. I want to go ahead and start by dropping this link. And then I'm going to start off by a prayer, if that's all right with y'all. Okay. I feel like God leads us in a way that he wants us to go. And so not trying to preach to nobody, but I do lead and live by God's words. So, you may see me say prayers every now and then. You may see me, tell you a sermon. You may even hear me tell you a Bible verse that I feel like go along with it. And that's just the way I was raised. You know what I'm saying? You can take it at face value. You cannot. You know what I'm saying? Here I am. I'm trying to give you honest and conscious stuff about what we should be doing. And accountability is one of those things. Hold on. Let me drop this link. Okay. I dropped the link in the chat. So anybody that wants to join me, you can come on up and we're going to get into this accountability. Okay, so I want to start this off. Firstly, let me tell you, welcome, y'all. Okay, this has been sitting on my mind for a while. I had plans to do this with somebody else. It never worked out. Therefore, okay, so I'm gonna start this off with a scripture. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. And that is James 5:16. Okay. So that's the scripture that goes along with this. Hi, Dottie. How are you?
Hey, Incoming, how you doing? Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you. We talking about accountability.
Yes, I think it's
So
a
I just
well-needed
read the scripture that
conversation.
I put with this one, which is James 5:16. Therefore, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. And the affirmation that goes with this is my mistakes don't define me. I will trust the process and celebrate myself for my progress. I am putting forth a genuine effort and will recognize that it is enough. Okay, and the prayer and all this is in the description box, y'all. So if you feel like you want to see it for yourself, it's in the description box. The prayer for this accountability is Heavenly Father, please give us someone who will hold us accountable and will teach us to do the same for others. Teach us to be men and women of integrity. Let us take responsibility for our actions and teach our children to do the same. So I did this for a reason. Okay. Like I said, it's a lot of things that's been going on that has had me thinking if accountability was put in place, some of these things may not have happened. Okay. As far as in your relationships, in your workplace, even on this YouTube streets, we have to hold ourselves accountable. And we need people in our corner that's going to hold us accountable. Do you feel that way, Nadi?
Absolutely. Actually, you're not my friend if you don't call me out on my stuff.
Right. Okay, so here's my thing on accountability. Okay, I feel like we've reached the point where we yes people. We say, oh yeah, 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 yeah to this person instead of holding their feet to the fire and saying, look, what you did right there, sis, that's not cool. You being in this toxic relationship, that's not cool. I'm saying that for a reason. I'll touch on it a little bit. Growing up, I was in a toxic upbringing. Okay, I'm very transparent with everybody. Um, it was a lot of abuse that went on in our household, and I felt like it was if it hadn't been for me being born, essentially that wouldn't have happened in my household. You know what I'm saying? Because these two people could have went their separate ways and they wouldn't have had no ties. I was the tie. And in the process of me going through therapy, I realized that's not my that's what that wasn't my struggle to hold myself accountable for. Like that wasn't what I did. I didn't do anything. I was brought here. So I needed my parents to hold themselves accountable for bringing me into this and doing the acts that they did that made me suffer, made me feel like I shouldn't have been here. And I say this to say that when we bring people into our lives, we have to be accountable that we brought these people into our lives. And we also need to
Mhm.
make sure that we get these people out of our lives before they wreak havoc in our lives. Like we actually
Mhm.
have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you also have to. I mean, I too had to learn how to do that in coming. And I did that through therapy, because I was just tired of people taking me for granted and this and that. But I had to look at myself like, what are you doing? Why are you bringing these type of people in your life? They don't mean you any good. They're not showing you love, and I had to be accountable for my decision making in that moment in my life, if that makes any sense. And until I started taking accountability or whatever, that changed my circle. People started filtering out of my life. People started moving away from me and things like that. And I started creating healthy boundaries so that these toxic people could enter my realm anymore.
Well, you know why they enter your realm? They entered your realm because before you got to therapy, you were still looking for something,
Yep.
and they saw that crack, and they was
Mm-hmm.
able to jump in. And
Mm-hmm.
I think me and you have a lot in common because I was the same way. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
was giving. I was giving people stuff that I needed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I was giving
Absolutely.
because I was like, I already have a toxic home life. I didn't want nobody not to like me, whether it was in school, whether it was when I was playing, none of that stuff. Like I wanted to be liked because I felt like everything at home was so chaotic that I needed an outbreak. I needed somewhere to that I could feel like, okay, I'm needed, I'm wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And people
Exactly.
saw that and they used it.
Yes.
And people
Yes.
will use you. They will leech out for you, and they will leech out for you, and they mean you no good. They come in and they wreak havoc in your life, and they leave you empty. They leave your tank empty. They don't pour anything into you. You pour everything into them, and when your tank is empty and you need somebody to pour something into you, they
They
gone.
gone. They gone. I'm right there. I'm right there
So
with you.
true.
I'm
Yes.
right there with you. And
And
yes.
and so when I went through therapy, I was like, I realized that it was the men I was choosing. It was the friends that I was choosing. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
wanted something from me, but nobody was able to give anything back to me.
Correct.
And so I was like, well, why am I attracting all these people? And they said it's because of the energy you're giving off. You're not whole yet. So you're looking for somebody to come in and feel you, and they can't. They can't heal
Mhm.
you because you need to heal yourself.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head with that one. And until I started that healing process, I felt like my life was in shambles, But now that I went through it, and now that I know how to set healthy boundaries and to recognize the signs of a toxic situation, whether it be relationship, friendship. Now I recognize the sounds, the signs of it, and I'm able to make better decisions when it comes to choosing people being in my life.
Right. Like, here's my thing. I like for people to come into my life. I do.
Hmm.
I like to help people. That's
Hmm.
always been my calling. But I don't want somebody to come in and expect me to give and give and give, and you taking and taking and taking, and never pour into me. Like I'm not gonna
Ex-
ask you for nothing. I'm not that type of person. Even if I needed it, I'm
I'm
not
the
gonna.
same way. I'm the same way.
Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna pray to the Lord and I'm gonna let him order my steps in the way that he have them to go. But I'm always able to help somebody in need. So I just really, with all the stuff that was going on with the Kiki Palmer and in the reality TV shows, I was like, yeah, it's time for us to start talking about accountability,
Hmm.
because Robin Dixon and her relationship was really bothering me too, because I feel like people like
People
the
like the.
hold on. I think Miss Gwendolyn, you ain't close out whatever you had on.
Yeah, I had to close. I had to turn off my ear set.
Oh, okay. So I feel
Uh,
like I feel like the stuff that's going on, people are not holding themselves accountable. You know what I'm
I
saying?
I agree. And you cannot reward bad behavior. And we now live in a society that makes people famous off of their misbehavings. And you create little monsters all over the place, i.e. Christian Rock, i.e. Blueface,
You better
i.e.
say it again.
all these reality stars. And they see nothing wrong with it, but they're famous. They get money off of it. What are we doing as a society? What are we promoting? It's just toxic, and I dread the next generation because their parents.
And that's what I was trying to get to. Because when you notice one everything that I said, it had something to do with the children. Because children learn from what they see. It doesn't matter what you teach your children, they're gonna look at what you're doing. And if you're not holding yourself accountable, guess what? That kid's not gonna hold themselves accountable.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you
So
have to lead by example.
exactly. And all these people that I had said, the reason why I said them is because they are raising kids that's going to be our next generation, our next presidents, our next lawyers, our next doctors, politicians. And if this is what you're teaching them, that they don't have to hold themselves accountable, we can just show the fakery because we're famous or we're semi-famous, and we don't have to hold ourselves accountable. No, in every level of our lives, whether it's in the jobs, whether it's in your relationship, whatever you do, you need to have yourself at a level of accountability. And if you're in friend groups with somebody, you need to be that friend that say, "Hey, look, sis, bruh, I'm gonna need you to hold you accountable for this. I'm gonna have to make you step up on this one." Like, we stopped doing that. We stopped telling people the truth because we were scared to hurt and lose them.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if they're your real friends, if they're your real people, if they really mean you some good, they're not going to shy away from telling you the truth, whether it hurts
Mm-hmm.
your feelings or not. They're not going to not tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. And coming, I don't even call them famous. They're infamous. I mean, they're not doing things that's going to change the world. They're not doing things where they would obtain a Nobel Peace Prize. They're just causing havoc all around. And these people have influence on our children everywhere. Grown-ups are Christianimals or whatever you want to call those. And they're like, oh, she's young. When I was young, I knew better than to be laying hands on people in my young 20s. She's grown. They're grown. These are grown people. And it's just not okay to reward bad behavior. And I just think it's inexcusable. And I think it speaks to where we are as a nation. We're broken and divided all on all levels
I
through
agree with you
race.
because here's the thing. She was up here talking about something. Well, instead of talking about me, help me raise my child. Baby, let me tell you something. First of all, we didn't lay down and have your child. You got to be holding yourself accountable. And if you don't know it, you got to learn it. Like, we didn't have your baby for you.
Exactly. And I feel more and more that she had that baby to be a prop in her storyline.
Well, see, and I just seen the guy who was backstage, an eyewitness. I'm still gonna say allegedly. The fight that happened with one of Tamar's, the guy that's at the door. Evidently, she went outside to make sure her friend got in, but she missed the time that she should have been on stage. And so she had a confrontation with the guy, and she said, "Lie, say it again," like he's lying. And when he repeated it, she went off on him. He in the hospital. He had to go to the hospital because he's supposedly, allegedly, where she done broke his tooth.
This girl
And
is dangerous.
the thing about it is, parents don't realize they are part of teaching history and changing the kids' lives. It's altered because when you let go of the village and not keep people accountable, because I think maybe, in my opinion, you may remember when you go around the corner. For us, it was a circle on the other side. You may get 3 or 4 whippings depending on how many parents saw you doing something. You could be on the other side of town. That person may not necessarily lay hands on you, but where your mom and dad at? They taking you to a phone to call and get your mom and daddy. They don't even know you. They just know you're doing something wrong. And then when you're sneaking and smoking, we used to hide it. Don't even know the person. Baby boomers and older, it's our fault. Because when that generation came along and said, talk to the hand, everybody changed. I didn't. I wanted to know why and what it meant. And I said, well, I ain't got no problem because the truth just comes out of my mouth. Um, and another thing, example, girlfriend of mine was talking to me and she raised her voice and where she said something to me, she didn't say it right, which I knew she was upset in the moment. And I said, hold up, let's back up. You got to I like what you said, but I don't like the way you said it. And she was trying to get out of it. And I said, nope, we're going to go back, say what you said, but you got to change your tone. Because if not, I'm getting ready to hang up and we can repeat this tomorrow. And if you ain't ready, we're going to keep repeating it. until you correct step to me correctly. I don't have people in my friends like that though. I have people in my life that, and so she repeated it and we laughed about it. You could hurt my feelings. I don't care. We're gonna laugh about it afterwards once we get it straightened up. And I always say this to people: when you know, like, was I'm finding out like with ADHD, things don't always come out of my head. It's in my head correctly, but it doesn't come out of my mouth. And I came up with this saying a long time ago: let me spit it out, and then I can clean it up later. So what that means is just let me get what I want to say out, and then I can correct and put the right words into play so it comes out more clear and more understanding. And so my friends help me with that.
Okay, so I wanted to show y'all something, okay? Because I did a lot of research on this because I wanted to understand why we don't hold each other accountable. And you know me, I'm a big deep diver. I like to research. I like to bring facts with me. Let's see. I'm new to this thing. I'll be trying. I'll be trying. Okay, let's see if it show up.
Take your time.
Okay,
Yeah, take your
so it says
time. We all,
accountability. And notice that when we look up accountability, it says accountability versus responsibility. Okay, letting you know
Mm-hmm.
these two are connected. Are you happy being more of a mere spectator in your own life? If so, great. Are you where? Are you where? But for those who are, for those of us who want to get the most we can out of life, accountability is essential tool for changing and growth. Without it, reaching our goals would be far more difficult. Many people confuse accountability with responsibility. So let's start out by clearing this up. This definition is pretty helpful. Okay, so we're gonna go into it. The main difference between responsibility and accountability is responsibility can be shared, while accountability cannot be. Being accountable not only means being responsible for something, but also ultimately being answerable for your actions. Now, I thought that was amazing because here it is. People be like, "Oh well, I took responsibility for." You may have took responsibility, but you didn't hold yourself accountable.
Mm-hmm. You
And
have to
yes, they
own
are,
that.
but they different.
because a lot of people don't own it.
Yeah, I think we lost incoming, but yeah, no, ownership of accountability, it's a major factor in it, and that's actually looking at what you did wrong, recognizing the behavior, and making a change. All right, so it's recognizing it, acknowledging it, and changing it. That's key when it comes to accountability.
Yeah, the one friend that I was talking about, um, she's 10 years older than me, so she's in her 70s because I'm 62. That makes her 72. So she's the only friend that I have that I give grace to because I understand her background and her personality, but I know who she is. I know she has a good, caring, kind heart. That's what I look for in people first. And so that accountability, she don't have it that much, but I do. Like I tell her, I own mine. And if you, but she's the only person that she's learning now, um, to do a little bit of it. But I don't let her get away with anything. And I think that's what true friends should be. Or, for example, when women started male bashing men years and years ago, I was in a fabric store and this woman was talking to me and she said something and I said, "Excuse me." I don't allow women to say that in my presence because I'm not listening to what you're saying about him. I'm looking at you. And that woman looked at me with the probably now probably somebody would have popped me upside my head or cussed me out in this day and age. But even people I don't know, I don't do it so much today because I don't know who's gonna pop off, and do something wrong. But if the energy is right between me and that person, I will correct them and hold their feet to the I won't say correct, hold their feet to the fire because I don't allow that negative energy in my space. Negative energy to me is crippling. It's like kryptonite. I something that does something to my body and I can't take it. Oh, she don't come back in?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what happened. Let me tell you, every time you're trying to do something, I'm telling you, the devil is always busy.
I
The
know.
main factor, the main factor
Hey,
that's in
wait a minute.
accountability,
Wait a minute. In my opinion, today is one of my calm ADHD days. Okay,
it
so
is.
yeah, so my girlfriend sent me this little clip of this little boy, and daddy was trying to tell him about the chocolate and the banana on the boat. But anyway, so I got to see myself. So I know you'll keep me in check when I go off in that far left lane or whatever, and I will accept it. Because that's what I live for. This is so beautiful that you have this today because I need this in my life to have people who are on the outside world knowing that there are people that think and feel the same way I do. Because it's a different connection when you're with your friends versus people that when you're out there in the world. Because you don't know who to look at and this and that. So, but in my little quiet space, I need this. So, thank you for having that show.
What that's what I want everybody to understand. Like it shouldn't be something where you should be scared to hold somebody accountable. Like I want to get back to the way we used to be when people would, be able to tell you, hey, your actions were actionable to the point where I need you to hold yourself accountable for this. Those actions you took. I the thing about it is, I think for me, okay, and I'm a mom of 5 boys, 1 girl. So when I hear people talk about all these black men that are out here wreaking havoc in these females' lives, I'm like, it was a black woman who birthed this child. It was a black woman who actions got this boy to the point where he doesn't respect women or he's dogging these women out. Like we have to hold these mamas accountable too. Like all mamas don't teach their children respect. That's a part
Facts.
of being accountable. Like we can't say, oh, all the males are bad, but the females. Not to say that there are not some because there's some trash men out there, but it was a black woman that had to give them birth to them because we all know they can't come here from a man. Okay, they can't come here from a man. Yes, they can learn from that man, but that woman had to put that man in her life. They
Incoming. I
can't get
just want
us.
to throw a question out there because I feel like this. Yes, hold the people that raised them accountable for sure. But once you get into adulthood and you recognize what was wrong, I feel like at that point the accountability is held with that person as an adult. You could blame your childhood and your upbringing all you want, right? But at a certain
I would
point, you
agree.
got to recognize that was wrong. And as an adult, you got to say, okay, I know this was wrong. I'm not going to continue to perpetuate that same pattern and keep that cycle going. I'm going to be the one to change it. You understand? And I
I
just
do
really
But
because
I
I
think
feel like
you
this,
are
Naughty. Okay, let me
okay.
bounce back off of you.
Okay.
I feel like this. I do agree that once you get older, you're an adult. You're responsible for yourself. Now do the work, get the therapy, get all that done. But if that, okay, let me put it like this: if that person child didn't get it at home, and then he was raised around a whole bunch of toxic people, and he's never seen a loving, caring person or somebody to hold him accountable, how does he know that his actions need to be held accountable? Because this is what he's been raised around.
Yeah, I get it, and I agree. I agree, but like the foolishness that's going on now, the toxicity that's going on, you could blame the parents. Like in the beginning, I was like, yeah, you got to look at the pathology, right? But now it's just them playing in our face just to garner attention, because attention is the new currency, and they're going to get that attention at no cost. And to me, that responsibility and that accountability lies with them. They are making these decisions,
But see, I
and they
look
know
at,
it's wrong.
I agree with what you're saying, but when you're saying it, I'm looking at you, in my opinion, and me, what is instilled in us. And people don't think about and don't talk about it enough. People are cut off. Just like people, say for instance, well, I didn't know nothing about no budget. Well, look how many generations ain't nobody said nothing about no budget. Uh, That's the first thing popped up in my head. I might be off track. It's what's instilled so deep down in that person's bones and in their soul and their spirit. Age doesn't have anything to do with it. And that's what society puts on everybody. Because you become a certain age, now you are know better. As soon as you turn 21, 25, boom, your automatic light bulb go off and you are know all of this. It doesn't work that way. It's like, in my opinion, said, it depends on who you're surrounding yourself with. If you're still down here in the gutter and you've never been lifted out of it, then you don't know no better. Because one thing I don't do, I do not allow any person who's a baby boomer or older to talk about the generation that came behind us. You can't say nothing bad about them because they don't know no better. They was not given what we were given. We know better. But the parents and the grandparents don't let them slide, and they done, started doing what the young people are doing instead of holding their feet fire. Because Bernie Mac said it. Where's the big mamas at? Go back and watch some of his comedy thing. He got one when he said, "Where all the big mamas at?" That time period when he said that is when Big Mama, Grandmama, Great Grandmama kept everybody in check, and that what we were taught was still there. Society was a whole village. It's all gone. So everybody's independent little pods doing the same thing. They're not connected.
Yeah, and I take it back to when Incoming said, when she responded about the Walmart picture getting leaked, the way she was holding the baby, and she's like, "Oh, well, you could have helped me though." At the end of the day, you're a violent person. You're
Right.
unhinged, and nobody knows how you're going to react. And who's going to take the chance to correct someone that does not want to be corrected?
Right.
She
Now
tells the
listen.
world all the
Now
time.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Okay. I was just throwing it out there for those other people because there are gonna be those naysayers that say, "Look, this is how they was raised. This is how."
Mm-hmm.
What I'm
And
trying to say
and
is,
look, I appreciate both you ladies' point of views. I do, and I take it to account. But I just wanted to kind of like
oh
challenge a
no,
different way of
I wasn't
thinking.
disagreeing with you. I was just putting out another
Mm-hmm.
aspect because I feel like when we put out a conversation, sometimes we go one sided. And even
Mm-hmm.
though our conversations we think it's right, other people do have other opinions. So I do want to put both sides out there so we can talk about it, having a healthy conversation. We all sitting here. Everybody can form their opinions. Even the people in the chat can still form their opinions and put it in the chat, or the comment section later on. We may see something that they may say that may take us back and make us think about something. You see what I'm saying? Because we were all raised differently. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
because I
essentially,
agree with
Absolutely.
I agree with you
and then
because it.
we actually show up in the world. Okay, we show up with the upbringings and the values we were raised with. But I feel sorry for the ones that didn't have somebody to structure their life, didn't show them that you gotta be trustworthy, you gotta be respectful, you gotta hold yourself accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to pray, you need to meditate, you need the Lord in your life. You know what I'm saying? All those things add another layer to you. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like
Yes.
men and women that we're seeing on social media are more like grown kids than grown adults, if that makes sense. We're seeing
It
kids,
does.
grown up
Yeah, because I
bodies,
just seen a little girl
playing in
on
grown
the.
up world. It's like when we were younger and we used to play, get the mud pies and stuff, and we used to make those mud pies thinking we was the mama and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they're literally now grown ups in a kid, with the kid minds. They not thinking. So I'm trying to figure out how do we get to adulthood and we have nothing to educate our minds, no sense of what we supposed to be doing in this world. Like I just can't understand that. What did your upbringing have to be for you not to have nothing in your mind that made you think?
Well, I just seen a short. I was scrolling through and I had to step back because I thought it was a midget. So I had to go back, and this little girl she was about maybe two, maybe turning two. She had on full grown adult outfits. She looked good. Mama had her looking good. And the thought that ran across my mind is, where's the childhood? As an example, my sister told my niece she wanted to do something, and she says, "No, you're not doing it." She said, "You got a whole year to be 12. When you turn 13, then you're gonna do what a 13-year-old do." And I want to tell you this, young lady. I was not disputing anything you said. I agree with you, and I saw your side. I'm just like opinion. I just bought another because I don't feel like locked solid in it. And what people are saying, like she says, we all come here and have different opinions and different sides to everything, and that's what I bring to different sides of looking at things. And but people look at that and think she's cute, or when kids do little things that are grown up and they laughing at it and nobody's correcting it, then when that child grows up, then they are no better. Yeah, a lot of them should know better because they was taught, but we're not talking about them people. We're talking about the ones, you got to separate them because everybody ain't in the same pot. You got those who don't know no better. You got those who can learn and are open to it. And then you got the ones who know better. Maybe some in between I done missed. I have beautiful conversation with so many young adults that are eager for that grandmother and that big mama knowledge. And every time I run across a person that's older, I ask them this question: when last time you had a conversation with a young person? Oh, I said, well, you need to stop and have a conversation with them. Because that wisdom you got, that I've been talking to you and knowing you got it, somebody's not giving it to them. And they need it. I'm trying to push us, like you said, go back to how
Okay,
we
Miss
were.
Gwendolyn, they may need it, but this day and age, this generation, you can't walk up and tell somebody like you used to.
No, I
Because
don't think, I don't think
these
that she
people
could,
these
but
days, they let me tell you
I'll say
something.
this. Let me say this.
They come ready to hit you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I would
Exactly.
say this: if the Lord sent the right person with the right energy and love, I'm talking about in a good positive way, to Chris Young when she was in that holding that baby in Walmart and did not make her feel that violent way to come out and would have given her that love. Because this has to be a person that God has actually given that purpose to. Because I know that's one of my purposes. I'm a seed planter. Now, what they do with the information, that's on them. If they let the next person God deemed to plant it, and let it grow and ward and all of that, that's on them. But it has to be the right energy and person.
I don't
And
think she'll accept it. I don't think she'll accept it. She sabotages, like her trauma goes so deep, she sabotages anything good that comes in her path. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And I
yeah,
heard
I
both.
agree
And
with
when
it.
it
I
comes to
agree with it.
her, she knows right from wrong. She's a trained athlete. She was able to win America's Ultimate Warrior. You understand me? She plays like she don't know no better when
You
she
know what?
does.
I forgot. You know what? I agree with you. I forgot about that because she does have the discipline to be able to control herself, regardless
She
of how
does.
you're right. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But it's like that beast, and you know how other people get in your brain, and then Satan get in there because he's so deep rooted now to where, oh, I get paid every time I do something. Well, now, yeah, when you on Zeus,
Well, she's driven by material things if you don't notice. Okay. There's no her morality, as much as she preaches God, 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 God. Look at how she dresses and carries herself. Every chance she gets, she's shaking her behind in front of a camera. All right. And this is my thing about Krishan. The world wants her to win, but we can't want it more than she wants it for herself.
you know what?
And
I'm gonna wait
she's
till the evidence and
So,
more
so what do we do?
information comes
Okay,
out
so
about that
as a
Kmart
community, what do we
concert.
do to
Oh, I'm
uplift
sorry.
our? As a community, what do we do to uplift our community? What are the
stop
solutions?
supporting stop supporting and promoting self-destructive behaviors.
And I think
It starts
a
there.
lot of people got the power in their hand because let me tell you something. I used to watch Young and the Restless. Oh, God knows how long. But there was an episode that came on when Nikki wanted to cuddle, lay down with her daughter's husband. I turned the TV off. I never watched it again. That's the power people have. So when I hear people complaining about something, but you're still indulging in it, and you're not coming, like she said, coming up with a solution, no, I don't have anything else to do with them. It's like I'm done because you're still part of the problem. And if people would just, even with these other shows, just cut it off. And then, we get together and send a letter to whatever the network is and say on this day or whatever, we're going to, everybody, so many people going to quit watching, which I know in my world it probably ain't going to happen, but I pray it does. That's our power. We don't know our
I
power
think too
that we
many people
have.
feed off the toxic energy, so it's not going to be so easy to shut down the shows because they live for the mess, they live for the drama. Like I don't
They
watch
do.
Zeus. I don't watch Zeus
I'm
because
not
I feel
even a
like
subscriber.
And see, I don't
me neither.
understand that.
I feel like Zeus has done nothing but destroyed the young black generation. We sit here and we tell girls, "Oh, go ahead and strip off the pole and fight," and we tell men it's okay to be aggressive. And that's not what I'm trying to teach my kids. Like I didn't raise them like that, and I don't want them to grow up in the world and see that. But when we have people out here with toxic mentality and toxic behavior, and all they see that they want to make money off it is the toxicity, then this is what happens.
Well, see,
People
and I
live to see
also
the
look, and
train wreck.
and see, I also look at it as I see the world with God, and I see the world with Satan, and then I see the people and the choices. And he done got a hold to so many of them, and they don't even realize it. Because remember what Jesus said: "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." And those are the ones who don't know. Because if you haven't lived in a
But
certain
Miss
era,
Gwendolyn and some of them that do know, and they still present out
well,
in
now
the
see them
world.
the ones I can see them. I can see them. I'm talking about the ones that really don't.
Well, we don't
The
know the
whole
ones. We don't. Let me tell you something. We don't know. We only know what they put out there. Okay, and because here's my thing. Okay, I hate it when you want to bring us into the chat because you want us to see when things are good, and then when things go
Hmm.
left, you tell us to get out your business.
I can't stand the double standards. Talk
oh
about
Me
it.
yeah,
neither.
yeah, yeah,
Like
you're right
I
about that. I
feel
can't
like
stand that either.
that's what I feel like social media has turned into. I can show you all the good parts of my life, but when stuff is crumbling and I need somebody to pray for me and lift me up and be there for me, then I don't want you in it now. Okay, I don't want you to see the bad me or the broken me. I want you just to see the positive me. Then that's not you. That's your false image that you want me to do. And I don't do the false image. Like you either gonna come to me straight or you ain't gonna come to me at all.
And
You
I agree with you 1,000% on that one because I'm trying to not like I tell God, I don't want to know what the feelings and emotion inside of me. I just trying to learn and understand some of the the negative things people be saying and doing, and you are correct on that. Because
yeah,
for
and I
me,
mean the over.
I know there's bad people out there in the world, but for me, I'm an optimistic, and I still try to see good, and I still try to pray for it to come out, and then reality hits, and it's like, well, some of it's gonna stick, and some of it's not, and it's like a lot of it's not sticking.
Well, at the end of the day, they overshare. They invite everybody to the group chat, and they get mad when they get negative feedback. And a part of being a public figure is you got to be able to take constructive criticism too. That's a part of it too. And I'm not going to blow smoke. I'm going to be honest about how I feel about a situation. And if it's public, I have a right to give my opinion on it, period.
Okay, Naughty. Do you see the comment that's on the screen? It said children need to be more sheltered. They need to
Mm-hmm.
refrain from any social media until they are 17 or 18. They are
Mm-hmm.
growing up way too fast through these different medias. What do y'all think?
Yes, I totally
I agree with that.
agree that social media has given these kids access to so much to the point like they don't even look to the parents for guidance. They go to social media first. They feel like social media is therapy. Look at all the kids coming out calling out all their deadbeat parents around. Brian McKnight, Russell Simmons. Okay, I totally agree.
Well, see, and
And,
then
and
it's like when that baby laying up in the crib. I think it was a couple of ways, some years back, before the world kind of went upside down. And I seen this commercial where they had this little thing you can put on the baby crib, and while you changing the baby diaper, and it holds the phone. And I lost my dang on mind. I had to call my girlfriend. I said, "Do you see what they got on TV?" I said, "They corrupting the baby before the baby even can roll over." Talking about newborns. You mean tell me the mama ain't talking to the baby when she changing the diaper? So now they interrupting the mama communicating and getting that connection because the baby wiggling. But if you're watching the little TV screen, the baby ain't wiggling, and she can change the diaper. And I went, they don't even realize they're being brainwashed to put that baby newborn addicted to this device.
yeah, well, the parents are letting the devices raise the children instead of being in control. And the thing is, if you want to give your kid access to social media, you have to be on them like white on rice. It's your responsibility as the parent. And I think what's happening is the parents, they too busy in their social media. So they can't keep up with the kids and what they doing.
Well, see, and then on top of that, when they had a temper tantrum, the parent give in to it. See, like I loved high heel shoes as I was a little kid. I remember my mama told me I couldn't get them high heel shoes. Girl, I had a little tantrum, hit the fit. My mama dragged my little butt out the store. She left everything there.
Exactly.
And the parents
And
are
do you
not
see how
doing that. The
these
parents are handing that child that phone. My mama didn't hand me them shoes and go up to the register and pay for them. No. But the parents was handing
exactly?
them the device and say, okay, as long as they quiet, they ain't bothering me.
But do you see how the kids act when you take the devices away? Like
Well,
teachers are getting brutally
they've done
assaulted.
surveys, what they've done research, and they have actually got proof that they are addicted, like you're addicted to a drug, just like people who smoke cigarettes. A survey, not a survey, but a study came out and said that smoking cigarettes is worse than people who are on heroin, but people still don't pay that no attention. That's the same way these phones are, because it goes right along with what you said on how they fall out and have a fit. They're not paying attention.
I also think a lot of the stuff that we're seeing, it's because of the drug and alcohol. I think some of these people do not. They mental state is not in the right place for them to consume alcohol or drugs, and they take it anyway. And the
Exact
change.
and I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, and you got to remember the drugs are way different from back in the day. Not saying that any of it is good, but they're doing scissor, they're messing with pills, they're combining all of this, which is throwing off their body chemistry and throwing off, their brain productivity. And they looking at it as it's just a good time. But that's why you have drug and alcohol treatment along with mental illness. You know what I mean? Because it throws your chemistry off to the point that you're mentally ill.
And I will tell y'all this. I when I'm sometimes I can be texting something in the comments, and then all of a sudden it'll switch over, and I'm doing something like for the Lord, and I copy it because I got to paste that, take that out of that comment, and I got to paste it over into my notes on my phone. And one day, my finger, it felt like it was connected. And I went, yeah, you better hurry and get over there. It's like when my finger, it wasn't talking, but this is how I can't describe it to y'all. So I've got that, it'll come out, it ain't coming out right. But I could feel it in my finger, like you touching something in your house with your finger. That's what it felt like if I didn't go over there and push that note button and copy it. And I went, oh my God, I got to stop. I got to stop. So I got off the internet for a while because sometimes, I'll go in and out and I won't be on the internet at all. That right there made me, when we're talking about this, is that addiction that they don't see it coming and they don't know it because ain't nobody taking the time to be aware of it. And for those who do know about it, is ignoring it. I didn't, and I'm not going to.
Okay, Handy B says these kids nowadays be threatening their parents to call CPS when they put them on punishment and their devices are taken away. I wish I wish it would have ever said some crazy ish like that to my mom. Oh, I couldn't have said it to mine either. Okay.
I know.
I was raised up in a family where
Oh,
I had
did
to go
y'all
get my
see that?
own
Did y'all see the video
switches
on
off the
YouTube?
tree, and if it wasn't the right kind of switch, my mom would make me go out there and get another one
Hello,
and
thank you.
twist that thing together with the other one that I
You
had
better
and
say
would
that.
beat
Wait a
my
minute.
behind.
Wait a minute. In my opinion, you better say that again if you got the wrong switch. Oh my God. Oh, you're gonna get an extra whooping. But did y'all see that video of the woman had took her son's device and she left the house and he came up, he destroyed the whole house? It was on YouTube. He
Mm-mm.
destroyed the whole house. And I'm not talking about things on the table. He done knocked the TV down. I mean, everything that woman had bought, she got to replace it financially because he lost his ever living mind because she took his device. That should have been all on the international news, but it's not because guess what? Ain't nobody gonna make no money.
But that's a part of holding people accountable. That's what I'm saying. You can't be. Somebody was in his life that could have held. Somebody was in their life that could have held them accountable for their actions.
Well, that's what the
And
mama called
let's
herself doing. She
let's
had
let,
did
let's be
something wrong.
well. Them
Yeah.
a lot of people don't left the Bible too. Okay, I've learned that too. Being on these
Mm.
YouTube streets, like I'm still heavily, in my Bible. I read every day. I read twice a day. I make my kids read in their Bible, but I feel like we've lost the sense of God. I think we've lost the sense of respect, and I think we've lost the sense of holding each other accountable. And I'm
Absolutely.
at an age where I want people to be held accountable for their own actions. I want people to know that their actions have a reaction and has a consequence. And I feel like
Mhm.
we're rewarding them by putting them, on a high pedestal. We put their videos out, we show this and we show that, and they're getting more famous.
Yep.
And it's like, why can't we put up stuff like holding them accountable? Why can't we shame them into holding each other accountable, into making them lose money? These companies that sponsor them need to stop paying them when they're doing stuff that's not, because
Hmm.
we're essentially rewarding bad behavior. And I'm
Yes.
tired of seeing the bad behavior, like it's getting worse. And in 2023, we shouldn't still be dealing with stuff like this.
So true.
Well, when you was talking about God, I feel the same way because, and that's why when I had said earlier, I've always seen Satan and God, and then people got so much in a habit of every time something go wrong, they blame God, and I'd be like, oh wait a minute, so Satan ain't got nothing to do with this?
I just really believe social media has created a lot of false prophets out there, and
Yeah.
people use God to garner attention and funding from the public.
Well, look at Jamal Bryant.
Uh
Okay.
huh.
Absolutely.
I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like people don't remember the saying that many are called, but only a few are chosen.
Amen to that.
Yes. I
And
was.
we looking for something that we shouldn't be looking for in man. We should be looking for in the Word of God. I feel like we're teaching our kids something that we may not even totally believe in, because this is what social media has promoted as good behavior. And I feel like it's time for you to take a step back and, as parents, raise your children. Quit letting social media raise your children.
Yes, and see
Back in
that.
the day, your kids would not book, while our generation wasn't crazy, because we had parents that were actually, no matter what toxicity was going on in that household, that parent was still raising their children.
Yeah, because after my father passed, and I went home, and I seen my mother drinking a beer. My mouth flew open, and I went, "Oh, mommy, grown married woman, mommy, when you start drinking?" She bust out laughing. She said, "I've been drinking all your life. I ain't never seen you take no drink, and I done seen how kids be observing adults when they got the neighbors next door got a party and everybody over there, or you over to your grandmama's. I have never seen my mother take a drink. That was the first time." But my mother said, "I did not want y'all to see me take a drink because you got one parent that drinks. You don't need two. You got to have an example." And my dad used to always tell me, never, a lady's never supposed to be seen drunk in public. Now, he may fall out and bust his head or whatever, but he instilled that in me.
Okay, Handy says, right, the facts that that video of someone child destroying their home for taking a device from them is keen to rewarding that behavior. That boy would have been in a boys' school or on scared straight. No, that boy should have got his behind beat.
I'd have
Okay,
been in
let me tell
jail.
you.
I would have been in jail.
In the Bible, it says, "Spare the you spoil spare the rod and you spoil that child." Okay, and that's the problem. We forget that it's okay to whoop your children. Corporal punishment is not all bad. Now, we shouldn't be beating them to the point where they feel like, it's aggressive. You see what I'm saying? It's a way
Hmm.
to do it where it's responsible. I feel like you should never um, punish your kids with corporal punishment when you're in the heated moment. I do feel like people take it too far when they're heated, because your emotions are in it. You're upset at the moment. Yes, you should calm your nerves down. Do whatever it takes to calm you down, and you should still whoop your children. And then after that, you should have a talk with them, and you should let them know that, hey, this what you did. I had to hold you accountable for. And we're teaching them accountability and trust and respect all at the same time.
And you know what?
Yep.
And some kids, you ain't even got to whoop them, or you just whoop them once. When that look, when they start being on the getting stuff off the counter, not the counter, but the coffee table. I had a girlfriend of mine bring her daughter over, and she said, "You ain't gonna move it." I said, "No." And Deja, I said, "Don't you touch that." And she gave me this funny little look, like, mm-hmm. And when she knocked it off, I popped her little hand. Didn't pop it hard, but I popped it enough to let her know I'm not playing with you. And I made her pick it up and put it back. Parents don't do that. They think it's cute. And then when that child grows up, because you don't let them get away with so much other stuff, but then when they get to the age and now they bucking back at you. I told my nephew, I said, let me tell you something, boy. I said, I don't care how tall and how big you get. I will climb your butt like a monkey and beat the crap out of you. I told my niece, I said, I'm going to beat you like you're a grown woman. They were in high school when I said that to them. Because that's when they started talking about kids calling the cops on them when they changed the law about what was the difference between spanking. That's parents' fault because parents did not get together with the law, and it probably still could be changed if the right amount of parents get together. I'm talking about the good ones and make a distinction. This is abuse, and this is me chastising my child. But nobody knows the definition on what's chastising your child because now it's all abuse. Period. That law needs to be changed. My niece got one whooping. She looked at my sister and she said, Mama, you better enjoy it because it's going to be the first and the last. That child never got another whooping. I never whooped them. I might have spanked them a little bit on their leg, but I never whooped them because I put the fear in them when they was little. Because I didn't want to be whooping on them. But if I had to, I would. And grandparents are not being grandparents. I don't blame kids for anything. I don't blame these young kids for anything because it's not instilled in them. So how you gonna do better when you don't know how to do better? Look at things in our lives that we're still working on ourselves with that we don't know, but we find
Oh, well, now we
excuses
have
to
to
do
hold
it.
everybody accountable. I don't care if it's
No,
a
I know
kid.
I'm holding them accountable. Don't get me wrong, I'm holding them accountable. But there are certain things that certain kids do that they don't know no better because they have not been exposed to it. Let me say that. If they have not been exposed to knowing better. They out there. Maybe a smaller group, maybe a bigger. I don't know how many it is, but there are kids and young people out there that have not been exposed
Well,
to everything.
I take it to this example. When you know better, you do better. That you can have a child grow up in a two-parent household and they instill all the moral values in them. They teach them right from wrong. They teach them accountability. And then when they become grown, they flip out and they do the complete opposite. And then you have kids that come from the hardcore ghetto, grew up in the projects. I'm talking hardcore, barely had nothing, practically homeless half their life, right? And they recognize the situation and they say, you know what? I want better for myself. And they do the work, they put in the work, and they turn things around for themselves. But those humble beginnings made them so humble and so grateful that they appreciate what they have once they did the work to acquire it. So it could go so many different ways. And that's why I don't always like 100%. The parents do have something to do with it. But that's why I believe at a certain point, like, you got to be grown and take accountability and be responsible if you know right from wrong. You see what that did to you, right? And you didn't feel good. That doesn't give you the right to then go out into the world and project that and create all these little toxic playgrounds all over the place.
I agree. I agree with you on that one because the way I just do this is how I look at it. God got His people. Satan got his people. Then you got the people in the middle whose self-esteem, whatever. I'm still holding them accountable now. Who don't have the right guidance or the right people in their lives that's holding them accountable. So they're kind of like in the middle. But I look at the people who are Satan people, just like we're God's people, and that is what's going on. Because I don't see man's world, I see God's world in this world, and I see it coming, plain as day.
And I
because
think a lot of people, mistake, like they read the Bible, but they don't comprehend it and apply it to their lives. And that's what I think is missing. You can read your Bible all you want, but if you don't comprehend it, understand it, and apply it to your lifestyle, I mean, it's null and void at that point.
well, it's not necessarily reading the Bible because I've run across some people who don't know nothing about the Bible, but they got
Well, wait a minute
all
now.
the
It's plenty
but
of
they got
devils
all
out
the
here that
goodness.
can cite the Bible better than you can. Okay,
Now, see
so
them
that
people right there, them people right
not
there.
knowing, I mean, knowing the Bible doesn't get you there.
No, that
I
ain't got
need
nothing
you
to
to
do with
be
it. Because I've, like I said,
I
I've run
need you to
across
be into bettering yourselves, and
right.
this is the thing about social media. Nobody wants to promote anything that's healthy. Nobody wants to promote anything that's gonna show you positivity. Nobody wants to promote anything that's gonna help somebody else grow. But we'll promote men attacking our women. We'll promote our kids out here destroying our property. We'll promote women out here dancing and fighting and all this. We'll promote our kids out here with no home training. These are the things that we put up on a pedestal and we'll promote that. But we won't promote somebody out here feeding the hungry. We won't promote that single mama that was raising her kids while finishing school. We won't promote that. Now that's where the problem is for me.
And
Because
see,
here it
I agree
is,
with. Wait a minute, let me put
here it
my
is,
mute
we're
on.
holding people accountable for the nonsense, for the foolery that we see
Yeah,
out here in these streets. But the people that are out here actually trying to change lives, that's out here trying to in input and instill something in somebody else's life, we don't put that out there. It doesn't get the coverage that it needs. Um,
I
I
seen
think
this.
that is I think
What
that
you?
is sad that in this day and age we have Krishan out here showing people that she got this and she got that, but she can't raise her kid. And then we're supposed to be the ones that's supposed to come in and help her raise her kid.
I agree,
Like
and coming.
I just feel like that's the problem. I'm
Hmm.
not your parent, okay? I'm not you. I shouldn't be the one to have to take up the trophy for raising you. That should have been done already. But now that it's not done, then I need you to use that same money that you flooding on the TVs and on the internet and on the YouTubes and stuff. I need you to take that same money and go get into some help, some counseling, some something to better yourself. But quit coming to us asking us to help you. We can't help
Exactly.
you. I'm not in the same state with you and I can't put hands on you. And if I could, you wouldn't let me.
Hmm.
You turn it down in
Hmm.
a heartbeat because you like living in toxicity. And I'm not gonna come put toxicity in my life for somebody who don't want better for themselves. You have enough finances to go back and redo some of the stuff that's happened to you in your life. If your upbringing was messed up, then guess what? You go get therapy. You
Yeah.
go fix the stuff that's broken inside of you. But quit coming to us with your sad sob stories when there are people that are struggling from check to check to pay their bills, that are out there helping people every day on a daily basis. And they're holding themselves accountable. And you're sitting here talking about, whoa, 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 it's me.
And see, Nadi, I agree with you, and that's what I was trying to say. I've run across people who really don't know nothing about the Bible, but the essence and the core of who they are is just pure goodness. They have not been exposed, but then I run across people who, say that I ain't talking about the one who, because somebody can quote the Bible to me and Bible and verse. That don't impress me because I'm looking at you, your heart, what's in your heart, which in the energy that you're giving off. And I run across people like I told my sister. I said she was after my mother passed, she turned away from God, and I said, listen, I need you to visualize a church, visualize the pews. On the right side, you got somebody over here. Can I say fornicating on YouTube? Did you hear me? opinion. Can I say that word?
You already said it now. Go
Well,
ahead.
I mean, because I don't want to say it again. Okay, well, you got all the sins. You got all the sins on one side. You got all the sins on the other side and on the pews. And you can see the people doing all the sins, okay? I say, but your focus ain't supposed to be looking at them pews. Your focus is supposed to be looking straight at God, your relationship with Him. It ain't got nothing to do with the rest of them doing. And that's where the world goes. A lot of people go wrong. They're looking at the people, what they doing in church. Well, no, it ain't about that. Because I don't know how to, I couldn't explain it to them. I'm a visual person. So most of the time my stuff is visual. So that's what the visual I gave her. And I prayed for her and I let it right there. Now, what she choose to do with that information, how she handle it, that was on her. I plant the seed and keep on going.
Okay,
Because
yeah. So I didn't want this to be a real long live. I just wanted us to get up and
I'm
talk
sorry if
about
I
it.
did anything.
No, it's
But I
fine.
enjoyed myself.
I'm glad you did. Thank you, Nadi, for coming up though. Okay,
Thank you for having me,
I
Queen.
put your channel in the chat. So if anybody want to go
Um,
subscribe to Naughty Love, she is an
Uh-oh, wait a
amazing
minute. I'm gonna have
woman.
to.
Okay.
How
Let me
do I
tell you
do that? Wait a
something.
minute. Wait a minute. How do I do that? Because mine is just if I can't get out of it because I'm in a new one. I'm not in I'm in a different whatever you call it thing that opens up because mine has done at the top. So I know if I don't know how to go back to
You'll
the
be able to
earth.
see it once it's over. I'll have it in the description box too. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Listen, if y'all have not subscribed to Naughty Love, okay, she is an amazing, amazing content creator, okay, and we got to stop not supporting our black females out here that are doing amazing things. Okay, that's not putting out all the toxicity. That's gonna give it to us real. That's gonna be honest with us. That's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. That's not trying to people please somebody or backbite somebody. We got to stop doing that. We got to support
mhm.
our sisters that's out here doing amazing work. And now that you are doing amazing work, I saw you out partying last night. I was like, oh,
Thank
I
you.
was a young girl. I'll be out partying too. Let me tell you, I told my husband, I said, now look at her. She out having a good time. He said, you want to go back to them days? I said, no, I don't.
Wait a minute.
Well,
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, in my opinion, all you gotta do is just turn the lights down low and put the music on, or get a
Oh, no,
strobe light somewhere, and be
no,
moving
I
with
ain't
your
going to. Let
husband
me
in your
tell you
living
something.
room.
Them
So
days is
I'm
long
talking in the
gone.
living
Them
room.
days long gone. Okay, this body don't move the same. Hey, y'all see my 1-2 step. Y'all be like, oh, yeah, her body don't move the same no more.
look,
Well, you know what
it
I'm. You
coming.
know
I
what.
just
You know
always
what. And that's
say,
exactly what I was gonna say. Because sometimes we get older. We just stand in one place and just move as long as we move into the music, and that's it. Because I've never. But Naughty Love, I probably am already subscribed to your channel, but I will find out and I will leave you a little comment to let you know whether I was or am I a new subscriber because I try to jump on right then and there so I don't forget.
I get it. I
Right,
appreciate you
Juice?
supporting.
Okay,
Hey,
this is
Juice.
another content creator that
Yes.
y'all need to be following. Okay, let me tell you
Hmm.
something. If y'all want to know somebody who is Christian based, who is led by the Lord, and will pray for you, lift you up at any step of the
Yes.
way, Miss Juice will do that for you. She is amazing. She does reality TV recaps and everything. She'll keep you up to date, but she gonna pray for you too. Okay, like don't come over there with that foolery. But if you want to be led by somebody who is spiritually led and will keep you going and will bless you and will pray for you on a constantly basis and is not praying for your downfall, but praying for your upcoming. Okay,
Amen.
you need to
Amen.
subscribe to the Juice Radio and Talk Show. Go over there and give her a lot of love because this is an amazing content creator. We got to make spaces where we accept and encourage other content creators that are doing amazing things. I also saw that Diva was in the chat earlier. If y'all
Yes.
have not subscribed to Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, y'all better go over there. Okay, I'm always over there on the panel. Okay, I know
Hmm.
a lot of my subscribers came from there, but if you are not subscribed, go on over there and subscribe to Diva. Okay, she is an amazing content creator and she is going to keep you up to date. All while she's going to the gym and working. Now, if that's not, I don't know what that is, baby, but she is always on it, okay? And always a good content creator to go to. Let me
And
tell you,
and and
I appreciate all the love that y'all have poured into me
Let me
I didn't know if I wanted
in
to
my
do this.
opinion, before you close
When
out,
I
let me.
let me hold on one second. Hold
Okay.
on. I didn't know if I wanted to do this YouTube thing because I felt like it was so many people that were talking about different content creators, and I was like, I don't want to be in a drama. And I was
Hmm.
talking to Juice and I was talking to Diva, and those were the people that were uplifting me, and they was like, listen, you just gonna have to, bite them nerves and do what what you feel like you need to do in your life. And they were so encouraging to me. They told me, they
Mhm.
said, we see it in you, you just got to believe it in yourself. And let me tell you something, I have been scared. Okay, all my videos I be scared. Okay, so when I come here, sometimes I'm a little nervous. Okay, I am gonna get better at it. I promise y'all. I am working on it, trying to get the content out to y'all. But over here, all I want to do is uplift people. I want you to live a better life and live it more abundantly. I want to give you the resources to whatever you need. So if there's somebody out there, no matter where you stay, if you're in need of something, whether it's getting your light bills paid, your mortgage, your rent, whatever that need is, leave it in the comment section or contact me through email. I will never put your information out. I won't ask you for none of your personal information, but I will find out what resources are available in your state and in your city to help you. And I will put a video out and also send you a message back directly from me. I am a firm believer that in this world, we should be giving back to everybody, and we should do it with a grateful heart. And that's what I felt like the Lord has called me to do. So over here, I'm not gonna do the ratchetness. I'm not gonna do all that. I go to everybody else channel that do it, and I'll say my comments on their channel. But over here, I want to get you happy, healthy, and wealthy. Okay. I did a video on getting
Yes.
credit together. So if y'all need your credit together, okay, go ahead and log on to Credit Karma. Okay, it is free. It is free. It ain't gonna cost you a thing, okay? You get on there. I also did how to fix your credit, okay? It was a three-part video. If you have not watched it, I talked you all the way through the beginning process to the end process. How to get your credit back together. I want y'all to live a life and live it more abundantly. But in order to do that, you need some steps. And I'm trying to get those videos out to you so that you're not only healthy in your body, but healthy in your finances. Okay. So if you need any help at all, please don't forget to read it in the comments or to email me. Any of y'all have any last words y'all want to say?
Well, what I want to say was, everybody that, in my opinion, has named, um, y'all really do need to go to subscribe to them, because that's like I told Juice that, and I'm telling you because you're part of it too, in my opinion. And I told Diva this because Wayne popped up, and I've been knowing Wayne for God knows how long. But anyway, I had prayed to God because I got tired every time I came on YouTube. It was stuff I didn't want to hear, negative energy, negative energy. And next thing I know, uh, I got followed Gray Hair Diva from Sherelle's World. But then in Gray Hair Diva, y'all was in there. And it was like, whoa, I like the way they talk. Even when you be getting on people, it's like, whoa, man, she's somebody I like to know because she be all up in me. Make she be straight and time you miss my opinion the way you talk. I said, boy, she be all up in me, getting me straightened up. And then I started following y'all. So anybody that's in the chat, if you want a space on YouTube where you got positive women and men, because they have some, Juice sometimes have them on her show, that's going to put so much care and energy into you, they are the people to stick with. And I'm not just saying it because I know they are a gift to God to me. So this ain't no just I just follow you to follow you. You are part of my prayer. All of y'all. That's why I call y'all my YouTube family.
Thank you so much. Incoming, thank you so much for having me on your platform. I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work. And just remember, there's no mistakes in YouTube, okay? We all mess up. We all talk on mute and things like that. just keep at it, and you'll just keep getting better and better and better at it. And I'm just so proud of you, and I was happy I had the chance to come over and support.
And I would say this, you saying and letting people know, then you don't know who's listening that's getting encouragement from you knowing it ain't perfect. Because when you turn on, you're looking at a lot of people who already got it down pat. Your lane right now is you're doing a good job. You don't see it, in my opinion, but you are helping so many other people get that courage and get that going on.
Yeah, make sure everybody's hitting that like button, share incoming content so that we can help her grow and get to her 1,000 subs. This is what it's all about. It's enough content for all of us to get around. And I appreciate you ladies in the conversation. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to drop down. Um, but I got my notifications on, so I will be back.
Yes, and Naughty Love, I learn a lot from you, and I don't ever think that I'm dismissing anything you say, honey, or any of y'all.
I didn't take it as
Okay,
that at all. Thank
okay,
you.
all right,
Well, I appreciate all y'all beautiful
and I
people for coming
appreciate you
and
letting
rock
me
with
come
me
up.
on this Veterans Day. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, I really do. Let me tell you something. I'm very opinionated, okay, and sometimes I feel like my opinions sometimes be a little, harsh. But that's just that southern in me, okay? I'm born and raised in Alabama. Um, and I feel like it's a lot of people I've seen that I've not been able to help, and I, have this heart that I want to help people, and I know there are so many people that are struggling. Whether it's you struggling to feed your family, whether it's you struggling to pay your bills, whether it's you struggling in your health, and like I said, I'm not shy on my story. You know what I'm saying? I've been on every aspects of that, and by the grace of God, okay, by the grace of God, He let me see another day. By the grace of God, He brought amazing man to come and protect and hold me, and not only hold me but teach me. You know what I'm saying? And to honor and respect me, to get me to the next level. That always, always has my heart. Um, and I appreciate that every step of the way. And then he brought in these amazing content creators that pour into me. And I do. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted anything y'all say, because I take it to heart that you only mean my good. I'm always praying that the Lord bring in the people that's gonna help me be a better version of myself. And so if anytime y'all see me in these YouTube streets and I'm doing something that is out of the way, I give you the permission to hold me accountable, as I am asking everybody else to hold yourself accountable for your actions. Everybody' actions require a reaction, okay? And it does hold a level of accountability that we should be holding each other to on a daily basis. Accountability doesn't happen just one day of a week, it happens for every day of the week. And I pray that everybody stays healthy, happy, and wealthy. And I appreciate everybody for coming and watching and joining in the comment section, and for Naughty Love and Miss Gwendolyn for coming up on the panel and sharing their opinions. I am going to do another video probably tomorrow. I need to set it up. And that one is going to be on trust. Okay. And that's going to be
Love it.
an issue, because I feel like we need to learn that everybody's not able to be trusted. And when we should let people in, and when we should be looking for the inability that's in people not to be trusted. So I hope that I'll see y'all then. I will make the thing this evening. It'll be up this evening so y'all can set your notifications. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all stay healthy, stay blessed, stay wealthy, and I'll see you next time.
And
Bye.
I'm gonna need that,
Good
and I'm gonna
night.
need wait a minute, and I'm gonna need that class because I've always been trustworthy until God sent me a woman and said we need to change phone numbers, and she said I need to earn your trust in my mind, and everybody I asked, well, what does it look like? What am I supposed to be looking for? I don't know what that means. So I would definitely try to be there. If not, I will watch the replay. Thank you for honoring me to have me up, and I'm out.
Okay, bye everyone.